Like they're so concerned about buying gold. Well, booty hooty Rudy Manooty. I hold it. I own it. I feel so much better about this than I do about, this garbage, because that's all that it is just garbage. But yeah, from your mouth, take action. It is not the time to procrastinate. It is not the time to sit back to see what's going to happen. History tells us what's going to happen. I would say, though, you've got to be holding on to those commodities. So in your physical possession, your gold and your silver, because it's easy to manipulate the spot markets. You had everybody trotting out, Jamie Dimon and Warren Buffett and, this doesn't matter. The markets are going to determine it. And because they've really been showing central banks with their experiments on QE, QT, yield curve control, which they just, in my opinion, they had to expand that range because they were losing control. And that's the last thing. This is a Ponzi scheme. But I mean, I personally think, so I want your feeling on this, that the Bank of Japan has been showing the rest of the global central banks how to do these experiments, but they're failing. They haven't been able to generate what they wanted since the early 90s, and they own most of the markets. Whether it's the stock market or the bond market, they're buying into it. And yet, look at the purchasing power of the yen. It's the lowest that it's been in 50, 60 years, but they've been in deflation since the 90s. A lot of people out there, it's this normalcy bias. When they created this system to begin with, one of the things that they stated was that people marry the legal money of the state, and they cannot but hope that it regains some of its purchasing power. You want people to do their own research. And so do I, because I don't think you should take anybody's word for anything. Why would you take a central banker's word? They're human beings. And I don't know how much living in the real world that they've actually done. Talk to people to help sway them to at least start to open their mind, because then we're asking people to have a paradigm shift. And that means we're asking people to realize that they have been sold lies their entire lives.
Hello, and welcome to Crypto Street, where we bring you the latest and most intriguing stories from the world of cryptocurrency, investing, and economics. Now, let's begin our enlightening discussion with Lynette Zang.
These kinds of changes have to take a really long time so that people don't notice it, the frog in the pot of water. And so we started on the, credit for the masses in the 20s. That was at the beginning of this experiment.
That's right.
And then credit cards in the 50s. So 100%, we have been moving toward this. And this next iteration, let's talk about this next iteration of currency, because that's what's going to complete things if we allow it. I personally, you talk about revolution, I talk about revolution, because I think that Ray Dalio talks about it, because I think that that's actually what's going to happen. And I'm actually quite hopeful, call me crazy, and that it doesn't take the majority to create a revolution and affect change. Just the vocal minority. He says 3%. I don't know that we're at 3%, but I'm hoping by the time this whole thing unfolds. And, and here's the other thing is we vote with our purses and our wallets, right? So if you keep everything inside of the system, that's your vote, right? But if you pull it out and you have physical wealth in your possession, that's your vote too. That's my personal vote. And food becomes the biggest issue for people during this time, hence the mantra: food, water, energy, security, barterability, wealth preservation, community, which is what we're doing now, and shelter. That's what you've got to have a reasonable standard of living, or, to your point, directly controlled by the system, and you lose all choice. And that's why going to, I find it so interesting that a lot of talk is about the deglobalization. I mean, I think I read today that Mexico has surpassed China in the U.S. as far as where we're getting our parts and everything from. So onshoring, except that the financial system is still in a globalized march and going toward a one world currency from what I see, where you get to hold all your equity on your phone. And you made such a brilliant point, is if we do it to ourselves, then what do? We blame ourselves. We don't really point the manipulation finger at the true masters, puppet masters that are out there. I mean, I think that, thank goodness I saw the writing on the wall, particularly in 2008. For me, that's when I absolutely 100% knew the system died and was just put on life support till they could get the next one in place. And, I'm a very happy person, but that's because I'm prepared, right? I have all of those things of the mantra in place down here and up at the bug out. So I don't have to be stressed because I put everything in place to make sure that I could take care of not just myself, but my family, meaning also my extended family. And I think that that's a big part of the message, because today we still have choices. We can still buy gold and silver physical and hold it outside of the system. You can still buy some stuff with cash, right? And pull that out of the system. I am not under the impression that they've yet put a new chip in that cash to regulate the interest rates on there. So that's still cash of the wild, preserves your principal, not your purchasing power, but at least your principal. So, I think that leading, I'm a doer, right? And I like to lead by example.
Do your own research. If you understand this, it's like an epiphany. People get it. It's like a bell goes off and all of a sudden they get it. And so if you get out there, start talking about it. It doesn't have to be just, you and I. It could be anybody else.
Right, exactly. And I know that this is a big problem for a lot of people. What you said, that people that you know and care about, whatever, think that you're insane because you're talking about this. And some will have that epiphany, some won't. But
Can't. They're blocked. They've been controlled. They've been conditioned. Whatever it might be, they've been programmed literally I'm pointing out there because there's a big screen TV here, but that's the box there that, is flashing all these messages at people. Turn that stuff off, because all you're going to get from that is lie and deception and look here, don't look over there. That's what it's designed to do. All those people there, they're reading a freaking script. And they're, like you and me, we're just talking. These people there, they know what their teleprompter. Say this. They say the wrong thing. The little thing goes off in their ear. Oh, no. Don't do that. It's crazy.
Don't forget to join us as we explore the unfolding events. Let's dive into some topics and then back again to Lynette Zang. Amid gold's recent slide, experts predict a shining future with potential highs beyond $2,500 by 2024. Former SEC official Bitcoin ETF approval won't happen anytime soon. Argentine peso touches historic lows. Tether dominated the Brazilian market. What's happening in the crypto market? Let's take a quick look at those technical analysis. A Fundstrat investor note has said BTC could hit $180,000 before the upcoming block reward halving in April 2024. And an Indian analyst thinks World War III has already begun, expecting the BRICS economic bloc to merge with the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, SCO. In other news, the United States Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, is seeking permission to file an interlocutory appeal in the SEC v. Ripple case over XRP. That wraps up today's crypto news highlights. Stay tuned for more updates, insights, and analysis from the world of cryptocurrencies. Please share your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more engaging content.